So what's the first thing you're going to want to do when you start editing is to import or get a file to edit. So you can do that one of two ways. One, you can just start recording a file by pressing the red record button down here, or pressing shift space as you can see over the hover shop. Or you can import a file. And how we're going to do that is going to File up here, Import, File. And that will bring up a browser. You can also press Control-I as you saw in the shortcut, and that will allow you to select a file to add into your editing. I'm going to hit open there, and that will bring up the waveform as I talked about in the editor page. So you can scroll to zoom in, and as you see, there you've got a nice viewing platform for showing you where you are in the audio file. So if we zoom in really close here, you can see that we're right there, and we can drag this along if we so choose. You can also middle click here to go back and forth and scroll in and out, like I said before. Then you've got a couple more buttons. You've got these, which allow you to drag in and fade the audio from the front or from the back, same thing here. And you've got some options here, which allow you to increase or decrease the amplitude, which is essentially the volume of the audio. And that will select it all, and when it turns white, that's something selected. So you can click and drag and select a specific part. You can press delete to delete it if you want, or add in certain effects, as we will be demonstrating in the next couple of videos. That's how you import into just the waveform. But if you want to make a multi-track, then you want to click up into this here, the multi-track button, and it'll ask you to create a new session. And this is just what the file's name is going to be called. So we're going to call it trumpet test. Hit OK. And it's going to make up a multi-track. Here we've got a very similar GUI, but you can see that there's different tracks as we go along down here. You scroll down all the way to the bottom, you'll see mix, which is the output for all of the different tracks. So if you want to add effects to everything at once, you can go down to here and add in different things. Or if you want to just do certain, so I just zoomed in there. Or if you want to just add things to a specific track, that's where you go down and add stuff there. So in order to actually import something, we can just take a piece of audio and drag it in, and this pops up. Well, what does this mean? Essentially what it means is you've got a piece of audio that doesn't match the sample rate, and that's what it says there, and essentially they don't quite match. So what it's going to do is it's going to say, hey, just hit OK, and it'll copy the file, change the settings to be correct, and it won't make much of a difference in terms of quality, if any, as far as I'm aware. It works quite well, and then it'll just make it so that it works nicely with the program. So you hit OK, and you'll see that there's another file that's created, and that is the one that's actually here that we can edit. Once again, we've got the nice viewing bar where we can zoom in, we can click and drag to move things, and additionally, we've got a zooming bar on the side here, which allows us to really get a good look at the specific track of waveform and drag up and down as we see fit. So I'm just going to zoom out here again, just so you can get a better clue of what's going on, and I'll just go over some of the other parts of the GUI as we mentioned before. So you can see that there's the history, we've got the effects rack, and the media browser. It's all very similar to the waveform, and you can make edits very similarly. Also, there's buttons up here still which allow you to fade in and fade out, but if you take a look at the waveform, it doesn't actually change as we do this, and that is again because the multi-track editing is not a destructive type of editing. It's something that allows you to compile in new pieces of audio without actually changing the files that you add in, which is very helpful. And in the next couple of videos, we're going to show you some different things that you can do with this audio and how to edit it into the best piece of audio that you can make it. Alrighty, see you then.